I don't know why e-dating has gotten so popular. It seems to be that people literally can't go up to other girls and other guys and just express their feelings to them. Like, I don't know, back when I was in high school, we didn't really rely on the internet to find other women other than, you know, just doing a quick, you know, devil's tango. But today's story is something insane, and I cannot wait to tell you guys the story because this is the first time I found my e-girl. And no, it was not V. If you guys are wondering if it was V, it wasn't. Speaking of V as well, she doesn't know about this story, so please don't tell her, but also she recently just made a YouTube channel, so make sure you guys go subscribe to her channel down below. She's gonna be posting content same as me and having a good time, so make sure you guys show her some support as well. Other than that, let's get straight into this crazy but kind of weird story. What is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba and welcome back to another insane story. So today's story takes place back when I was in high school. This was like around the time where, let's just say, going on Tinder and going on all these apps were really popular, but me, I wasn't really down for that. You see, I always used a thing called Discord, and if you don't know what Discord is, you are living under a rock, because it is literally the better version of Skype for gamers. That's the best way to explain it. Anyways, I remember one time I was on Discord and I was just hanging out with some of the boys on the boys Discord server that we have, and I was just talking in there, hanging out, doing my thing, and then one of my friends ends up joining the call. Now this friend of mine, he always, like, I guess finds girls online. We have no idea how. It's kind of creepy half the time, but sometimes he just knows girls. So I remember basically he came to a call saying how he found a girl that he really liked and that he really loves her. Now for us, we found it odd obviously at first because, you know, me and the boys were so used to having a person that's actually there that we're actually into, instead of being into someone that is literally not there, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, I never liked the idea of e-dating, let me just put it that way. But then I remember basically he was just going on and on about how he loves this person. Like, he kept saying, oh my goodness, like, I'm literally gonna like fly her out eventually and it's gonna be like the best thing ever. I don't know, at that point I remember just muting my mic and kind of just laughing because I found it really odd how e-dating was the final resort for a lot of people. Like, don't get me wrong, I get it. If you're really ugly and you can't show your face on the internet and you just want to talk to some women, I guess that's the route to take. But me being back in high school and all this stuff, I'm not gonna lie, I never really relied on the internet to find my girlfriend until I found V, I guess. But going on with the story, I remember one night when no one's on, I decided to join the Discord server because no one else was on, and I just decided to be in the call waiting and just kind of playing my own video games. And I remember as I was playing a game, I just hear someone join the Discord call, and it was actually the guy that was e-dating a girl. I remember he ended up joining the call saying, yo Bubba, like, guess what I just did? And it was super late at night, and I remember I looked at him like, yo, like, what'd you do? And he's like, dude, like, no joke, this girl has like the biggest knockers, dude. I remember I ended up kind of like looking around my room thinking that was the most weirdest thing he's ever said. But then afterwards, I remember he ended up telling me how he ended up doing devil's tango. I don't know how that works. I don't know how you do the devil's tango through the internet, but it made no sense to me. So I remember I kind of just like, you know, told him like, bro, like, is that even safe to do it like on like, you know, the internet? You know, I started kind of just discussing with him. And afterwards, I remember he ended up telling me, yo, should I invite the girl into the server? Now at this point, I was actually curious. I really wanted to say no because, you know, it is the boys Discord server, but at the same time, he really did like this girl, and I just wanted to see if this girl was even real. So I remember I ended up telling him, sure, just why not? Just don't tell the other guys. And basically, he ended up inviting his girl, his e-girlfriend, to the Discord server, and one thing led to another. She ended up joining the call. When she joined the call, she actually sounded like a pretty decent person, but she sounded like she had a really heavy accent. It was something like, hello, what's going on, guys? And it was super weird and super awkward, and I remember I kind of just sat there going, oh, what's going on and stuff. And basically the whole entire time, I was basically third wheeling in a Discord call. Now, if you guys know what that feels like, it feels weird, and it was super awkward. And I remember I kind of just looked around my room thinking, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done. Yeah, I've done that a lot throughout the whole conversation, but still, I didn't know what to do at that point. Then afterwards, I remember my buddy ended up just kind of like lagging out of the call, and he actually disconnected. And when he disconnected, I remember this girl was basically trying to talk to me saying, oh, like, Bubba, like, you're a very handsome guy. I remember I kind of like was super weirded out, and I'm like, wait, what is what I said afterwards? And then she ended up saying, oh, like, you're super hot. Like, damn, is that really you on your Instagram? I started being super weirded out, and I'm like, wait a minute, how do you know what my Instagram is? By the way, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I highly advise you do, because I'm the hottest guy on earth, so go follow my Instagram. Anyways, she started like basically looking at my Instagram, and basically she told me how I was attractive and started flirting with me, even though she was literally e-dating my friend. Now at this point, I didn't know what to do, so I'm like, I mean, what do you look like, is what I asked her right after, just so we can kind of like be on mutual terms of that we actually know what we look like. But then she ended up turning on her camera, and this girl was not wearing anything, literally anything. She was literally flashing her massive cherries on the camera saying, do you like? And I'm like, whoa, and I instantly just disconnected from the call. I was so freaked out, and I'm like, dude, there is no way my friend's e-girlfriend literally showed me her cherries. It was super awkward, and I didn't know what to say. But then like 10 minutes later, I remember one of the other boys ended up joining the Discord call, and her camera was off, off, and basically, I remember I joined back the call, and my buddy of mine was freaking out at this girl saying, "Who are you? Why are you in this Discord server?" At this point, I had to turn on my mic and explain how basically, like, this is like, you know, my friend's e-girlfriend and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. My friend found it super weird, but he ended up just banning her from the Discord server, which is fair enough. And one thing led to another. I thought it was all over until she ended up adding me on Discord. And at that point, I remember I accepted her friend request because I'm not gonna lie, she had some pretty nice knockers. But obviously the bro code is still in set, okay? I'm not gonna do anything if my buddy's still dating her or e-dating her. I don't know the rules between e-dating and the bro code, but it's whatever. Anyways, I remember the next day at school, I ended up hanging out with the boys and I saw them all in the cafeteria. And we started kind of just sitting there eating a lunch and everything. And then I remember my buddy was just on his phone the entire time talking to his e-girlfriend. I remember I went up behind the call they were in and he had his camera on. And basically, I remember this girl was like, "Oh, is that Bubba?" When we were at school. And I remember I was super weird. I'm like, "Hey, like, yo, I don't want her to see me." And I kind of just ended up walking away. But then afterwards, I remember this girl ended up messaging me on Discord and she said, "I literally just broke up with your friend because I really want to talk to you instead. You're so hot." And I remember I was so confused when she sent me that. I remember I looked at my buddy that was sitting across the room from me and literally he started crying. At this point, I knew what happened. I basically stole his girl from him. He stole his e-girl from him to be my e-girl, which sounds really weird in my head, but it was true. I basically stole my buddy's girl, which was totally not part of the bro code, and I totally just broke it, but I didn't know if it really counted if it was part of e-dating. I don't know. Comment down below what you think. And I remember that night, I ended up joining a call with her on Discord, and let's just say I started to experience what Devil's Tango was. It wasn't pleasant. I prefer the real thing, but I don't know. People are just weird like that, I guess. Anyways, this started going on for almost weeks. Weeks on end, me and this girl started calling each other and all this stuff. And I remember one time when I joined the boys' Discord server after a long time of not joining it, my buddy was there saying how he got another e-girl and that the last one was a cheater and disgusting and all this stuff. I started asking why he thought she was a cheater. And let's just say he ended up telling me, "Bro, like she literally always has another guy lined up. Like that girl was whack. The one I'm talking to now, she's Swedish and she's way hotter." Huh? I don't know. Basically, he was making fun of my e-girl, so I started making fun of his. And one thing led to another. We started not talking and not becoming friends because we both were dating e-girls. It sounded so dumb me thinking about it now because, you know, e-girls are not really like a real thing in my opinion. I don't know. I think it's dumb. Like, for example, when I started dating V, I told her straight up, "Just come here. Why do you want to be long distance?" I don't like long distance relationships. It's the most dumbest thing in the world, but I guess some people can handle it. And yeah, one thing led to another. I kind of just ended up just not talking to the e-girl anymore and just breaking up with her. Why? Because I don't know. I'd never liked the Devil's Tango at all. Like I never found it pleasant. And other than that, that is basically it for today's story. Make sure you do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. And like I always say, follow for more embarrassing but crazy stories. All right, peace out, guys.